Hello everyone, welcome back to the Inspiring Vanessa Show. I'm Inspiring Vanessa, your host, and I'm super excited because today I am joined by the lovely, the amazing Danielle. How are you, Danielle? Thank you for being on the show today.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm great, I'm feeling great, thank you.
Alright, so can you introduce yourself to those who don't know what you do?
Yeah, sure. So my name is Danielle Blenman. I am a mum of 3. I'm a mompreneur. I run a dance company, an empowerment project. I blog and also recently just started doing a radio show. Previously, before I had my baby, I was doing some mummy modelling. What else do I do? I think that's about it actually. I do herbal life nutrition, so I'm a nutrition coach. So yeah.
So you do lots of different things, so you're very busy most of the time, I can imagine. But
so I've changed the word round of entrepreneur to mumpreneur.
Yeah, but you're still making the impact, which is the most important thing.
Thank you.
So I can't wait to hear a bit more about your journey, as I think everybody else is. We're going to jump into the first question. As you were saying that you do have your Love to Dance company, so when did you begin Love to Dance and what inspired you to start it?
Okay, so I started Love to Dance when I was 19. So before Love to Dance, I went to the Brit School for Performing Arts and I'd done dance GCSEs there. From Brit School, I joined a talent agency, so I was doing dancing, I was doing music videos, dancing in showcases, and then at the age of 19, instead of starting year 13 in school, I decided to start my own company. But it wasn't a company to start with, it was literally a dance class in a church hall in Crystal Palace, and I literally just started it because I thought that young people needed something to do. Still being quite young myself, I thought let me just start with 1 class a week. I always loved to dance, loved making up dance routines, loved doing showcases. So that's how it all begun really, and then from there it kind of just grew. I had started working in primary schools, doing after school clubs. At my biggest, I think I was doing 13 classes a week.
Wow. In
1 week, so ages 3 up to adults, just teaching weekly classes, hosting my own events, doing my own community shows and events, and just creating a platform for young people. So this year is 16 years since I started Love to Dance, so it's been a journey.
And look at where it's gotten already. I mean, I think so many people should hear about it, because obviously you see so many dance companies, and it's actually what started dance companies, what people should really be focusing on, and what the intentions are, obviously the founder and why they started it in the first place. But 13 classes a week. Yeah,
I don't know how I was doing that. I was like hiring out venues, and then it would just be like back-to-back classes, so sometimes 4 classes in a day. And it's all after school time as well. So once I became a mum, I had to do it after school hours, and sometimes I'd have like baby there, and so I just made it kind of work around being a mum as well.
I mean, that's amazing.
Thank you.
Speaking of you being a mum, you've got 3 wonderful children. You've got also a new one, a new addition. He's super adorable. I'll insert a picture so you guys can see him. But the next question is, what has been the most difficult part about being a mumpreneur? Because obviously having to juggle being a mother and also being a business owner and being an entrepreneur is quite difficult for, I think, most people. So how did you learn to maintain that routine?
I'd say it is definitely a juggling act. It's not a balanced lifestyle at all. Everything has to be tailored around my children. So there was a point where I've been a single mum with my 2 daughters. I had to juggle kind of their school life. As they get older, they have their own activities. This is why I had to cut down dance classes, and eventually I brought in other dance teachers to kind of take off some of that time off me, because I think family time is important. So I try to do everything around the time when they're at school. So when they're at school, I might do some admin, or I might do like my meetings, interviews while they're at school. And after school, it's go to dance class. Sometimes they've had their dinner at dance class, or make sure dinner's ready for when they come back. Now with baby, we haven't been back yet to classes because we're still just coming out of lockdown. My baby's only 3 months old, so I haven't yet figured out how I'm going to do that with two daughters and a little baby boy. But yeah, I just kind of make it work around the children. It's hard. I think in 2015 I took 6 dancers to America.
Wow.
And my family really helped with that. So I had my 2 little girls and I had to go to America. We was invited to do an international competition, couldn't turn it down. The whole year we fundraised, and then it's like, oh my gosh, what are we going to do with the girls, with the children? So that's where family really have supported me, and they looked after me for 5 days. And we got to compete in Orlando. We got to have a day in Disneyland. It was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. And I mean, for me, that is a highlight of the work that I do, to be able to give the children that opportunity.
Yeah.
So out of those 6 girls, I think 4 of them had never even left London before. So it's like they got the opportunity to go all the way to Orlando, spend a day in Disneyland, and I managed to create that opportunity through Love to Dance. So that was like juggling, but I think support from family has helped big time with juggling being a mompreneur. Yeah.
And family is definitely power always, and they're always going to be people who are going to back you up in different situations or support you. But also you don't get to choose our families, but your friends can become your family as well. So if you want to achieve something, if you want to create a dance company like Danielle has done, and maybe your family isn't the most supportive at first, you can always surround yourself with people who are like your family, if that makes sense.
Yeah, always surround yourself with people that encourage you, empower you, inspire you.
Yeah, for sure. So I've had the opportunity to go to your Us Girls and Us Boys events, and they are fantastic. The idea behind it is amazing. So what are the events about, and how can we get involved?
Okay, so firstly I'd just like to say Inspiring Vanessa is one of my youth ambassadors for my Us Girls and Us Boys project. So what it's all about is empowerment. So empowering young people, empowering our young kings and queens. And I started it 5 years ago, just as Us Girls. It's just about empowering young women and young girls to become the best they could be. So we looked at things like self-love, confidence building, body image was a massive one, domestic violence, anything that kind of young people could relate to or go through in everyday life at school. They would bring issues, and we would do drama pieces, dance pieces, have workshops. We've done vision boards. So it's all about just empowerment. So anything that I think of, I kind of like, okay, let me do a workshop to do with that. So anything that I feel like would empower young people. We do an annual event every year. So last year, the event that I asked you to become an ambassador was our 5th year. And yeah, the whole event, I invite different guests down. They empower the young people. We have performances, we have stalls, food, music. It's just a really positive day. And I think over the last 2 years, that's when I included boys, because I was having a lot of parents come to the events like, what about our sons? They need empowerment too, which is true. It is true. So I decided to rename it and rebrand it Us Girls and Us Boys. So that's kind of how it all started, about just me having daughters and just wanting to empower young girls and women. Yeah.
I mean, now you have a son, so now it's like, well, we kind of have to do both. Everybody is equal at the end of the day. And so many people say that about like being a feminist.
Yeah. It's
like, oh, well, why are you only fighting for women's rights? But it's actually about equality.
Yeah.
It's not saying one person is better than the other, one gender is better than the other.
Yeah.
But your events have gone to be like the most amazing results, I feel like, and everything that you kind of focus on and the effort you put into it is amazing, and more people need to hear about it and start going to the events as well, obviously when everything is safe to do so too.
Yeah, I have missed doing my events this year because of not being able to do my events. I think there's 3 kind of that I've missed out on doing. So I usually do my Easter event, which is a big community day, and that would have been in its 6th year this year. Oh, wow. No, 7th. Last year was 6th, so it would have been 7th year. Then it would have been my 16th anniversary of the Love to Dance Summer Showcase, and that would have been last weekend. That would have happened, and then towards the end of the year is when I do the Us Girls and Us Boys empowerment event. So I mean, there's still a chance that could happen. If not, I mean, I'll just do a massive event next year. And yeah, I've still been very much in touch with all the young people that do attend the events, all the ambassadors. We've still kept in contact throughout this time. So yeah.
Obviously next week we can all kind of celebrate what we've been through and how we've all still come together and still tried at least to stay positive during this time and during this pandemic also.
Exactly.
So your kids are lovely.
Thank you.
They obviously radiate the same energy as you do, but very much looking up to you as well, which is extremely important. So how have your kids responded to what you do? How did they first react when they kind of realise, oh, mum runs a business and my friends' parents don't, if that makes sense? When did they start to realise that
I think they noticed the difference from about the age of 6. I have a 6-year-old daughter and an 8-year-old daughter. From about 6, they were probably like, okay, my mummy works for herself. And it's when it's school age, I'd say, age, when they notice, okay, their friends' parents are going to work, or they might have like a babysitter come pick them up from school. Whereas I can give myself that time freedom. So I've always been able to attend every school play, every assembly, pick them up from school. And I think children do notice that. I was asked last year to attend for one of my friends. She's really close, good best friends at school, and her mum called me and said, look, I'm working, I know that they're doing like a big play, and could you just go and support because I can't make it. And I mean, to me that was lovely because I know her friend really looks up to me, and I was able to just go in place of her own mum and support her. So having that time freedom, and also they see behind the scenes. There's a lot that goes on.
They see all the hard work into it.
So we'll post on Instagram, but often, and I know you do a lot of preparing before you do interviews, there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes, but we'll post the results and we'll post the outcome. But the kids, they get to see mummy at work and working late nights and by ordering all this stuff for the events, and on the day of the event turning up 3-4 hours early to plan it and decorate. So they get to see that, and I think they really do just appreciate what I do. They love it. They love the events. So on that side of things, it's been really nice being a mompreneur and showing them that you can actually build what you want to build. So they have that mindset now. They have the mindset of, I can do anything I want to do. I don't have to necessarily go out to work for someone else. I can create what I want to do. Maya, my eldest daughter, so she started Maya's Motivation. So she started that when she was 6 years old. And she wants to get back into that. So it took a little break for the past year, and now she's decided, I want to kind of get back into inspiring people. You're one of her great influences. So she wants to definitely start up Maya's Motivation, empower young children as well, her age group. So I think that is an effect that it's had as well.
Just trying to inspiring them and encouraging them that you can be your own boss. So I can imagine obviously running the Love to Dance company and the kid empowerment events. That's going to take quite a lot of your energy out, especially, and sometimes there might be some days where you feel a bit doubtful, maybe you don't want to run an event. So what keeps you motivated every day? What keeps you striving to continue creating the events? I think I just have a passion for what I do. So once you all know you've got a passion for what you do, once you have that passion, it kind of is the driving force behind everything that you do. So I know that creating opportunities for younger people, younger generation, empowering them, that is part of my purpose. And then you have to have a reason why you do what you do. So my why are my children, creating a better life for them, creating financial freedom, creating time freedom. So that is my why, and that kind of just powers me on to keep going. Generally, I'm quite spontaneous, so I will, although I have my set 3 annual events, I might wake up one day and just be like, right, I really want to do a self-love workshop, and I'll find someone to work with, or I might want to do something else, and I'll just be like, right, in the next week, and I'll just start doing it. So I'm quite just, because I love what I do. So and I always say one of my mottos is to create what you want to be part of. So that is the motto that I go by. So create what you want to see. I wanted to see a dance school in the area that I grew up in, and I created it. I wanted to see young people being empowered, termly, having workshops to be able to go to, and I created it myself. I connected with people. I think the thing that was stopping me as well from creating Us Boys in the first instance was that I didn't have any sons, and I didn't have much boys that used to come to Love to Dance, which is different now. And I just thought to myself, oh, I don't have any male role models I'm not a male, so I can't empower them. But since then, I have brought in male role models.
So there's always ways of doing things. There's always ways to create opportunities in different ways. So yeah, but I'm powered on by just my passion and my drive.
Create what you want to be a part of. That is an amazing message. Kind of like that quote, and it's like, be the change you want to see in the world. Become that role model that you always wanted, and then you become that for either your kids or just like your friends and family, or just upcoming generations also. So that's really amazing.
And just show people you can do it, like mum, non-mum, young, old. So I mean, I can relate to being young and starting a business. I can speak to people, mentor young people about having a business when you're younger. I've got my vlogs for Secret Diary of a Mompreneur, and that is more just being real and open about life as a mompreneur. So on that page, for example, I might post a day where my daughter's had a tantrum, or where like everything's going wrong in the day. So I try to be, I know you said about role models, I try to be a real model rather than a role model. So it's not perfect. Every day is not going to be perfect. And I try to post the good and the bad on Instagram, for instance, as one of the platforms. Not just like everything's perfect. So yeah, I try and show all sides of working as a busy mompreneur.
Trying to be as authentic as possible, which I think a lot of people kind of lose sight of, unfortunately. It's like, I'm going to post this picture even though you may have been crying the day before, or you may have been crying that morning before you took the photo, just because you feel like you need to post this, or make people think that you're doing fine when most of the time people are doing okay behind closed doors. So being authentic and just showing the brutal reality of what it's actually like.
And it's okay not to be okay. That is another great so it's okay not to be okay. Try and reach out to people. Try and find someone, as you were saying before, if you can't talk to anyone in your family, there may be someone you can speak to at a youth group, or someone online that you connect with in different organisations for young people. So always try and find like friends you can talk to, but don't ever like suffer in silence. That is like a big thing for me. Like always try and speak out and make your worries or challenges a bit easier by just talking to people.
And just communicate with others.
Yeah.
No matter how hard it is, maybe start writing it down at first. And then learn how to communicate that to your loved ones or to your closest friends. So on the show here, or in the different episodes, we always ask the guests a question about what is relevant in the world right now to keep the young people who do watch aware of what's going on. So quite predominantly like around this month, I would say, obviously a lot of stuff has been happening based around the Black Lives Matter movement, not only in the USA but also here in the UK, and about police brutality and racism. So what are your thoughts on the Black Lives Matter movement, and what have you kind of done to also educate your kids on this?
Firstly, I do think education is the key point in like just getting more knowledge around the subject, living day to day as a Black woman. I mean, I've probably faced incidents where like I might not have, it might have been a different outcome if I wasn't a Black woman. So as a parent, what I try to do with my daughters at the moment is just educate them, but in a child-friendly way. So we'll go onto YouTube, we'll look up people like Rosa Parks, Malcolm X, Maya Angelou, and we'll do our own research, because often schools don't teach Black history in the way that we would like it to be taught, or they don't even really acknowledge a lot of the Black heroes of the past. So my daughters have books on Black heroes, Black scientists, and they've said to me before, Mummy, why don't the school teach us about any Black people? It's only the white people in history. So this is something that a 6-year-old and 8-year-old have picked up on. So I just try to just educate them as much as I can, because you have to do your bit at home as well as in the schools.
I mean, it's so unfortunate in education that it's always 1 month. Like, this is Black History Month. This is like, it seems like the only time Black people are relevant, when actually everyone is relevant, like all lives matter, but Black lives and Black people are relevant all year round.
All the time,
365 days of the year, not just this month in October or this month in wherever, throughout the year. But that's amazing that you're kind of doing your part, obviously educating your kids on this.
And hopefully
make them aware that there are Black role models or real models.
Exactly. And this movement hopefully should change something in the school curriculum. I feel like it should kind of encourage schools to teach more about Black people. We've looked up Black queens in history. We've looked up Black black heroes, black women especially, who have just like fought war for their country. We've done all types of research at home, and the girls love it. They love being able to relate to people like them and to see powerful black women as they're going to grow up to be. So it's really important. It's really important for them.
So obviously, Danielle, you have been amazing on this interview, delivering and answering all the questions brilliantly. But I think everybody is wondering, this woman is amazing, but where can I find her? Where can I follow her daughter on social media also? So where can we find you on social media to follow your journey?
The easiest place is Instagram on my personal page, which is Danielle L2D. And from there, in my bio, I've got all the other handles. So I have the handles for my dance company, for my Secret Diver Mompreneur, for my empowerment project, all in my bio. So it's Danielle L2D. It'll probably be up on the screen or something.
Yeah, it will be.
And if you want to follow my daughter, she's about to restart her journey, Maya's Motivation. Find her on Instagram or TikTok, Maya's Motivation. So all one word, Maya's Motivation.
So you can follow both of these amazing queens and what they're going to be doing in the future.
Yeah.
And before we do finish off...
Also, Miller Cake Radio.
Oh yes, and Miller Cake Radio.
I'm in my 3rd week, so I've recently just started a new radio show, hosting a radio show every Sunday on millercakeradio.com. So we can't forget that platform. So every Sunday, 6 p.m, mums, even if you're not a mum, any women that want to be empowered, just to hear me like speaking authentically about what I do day in, day out. I do a bit of empowerment, positive thinking every Sunday at 6 p.m. on millercakeradio.com.
Make sure to tune in and listen to Danielle and what she has to say. And before we do finish off this interview, do you have any last words for the people who are watching to listen to and just be like, well, thank you, Danielle, for giving me that, because now I feel a bit more secure on where I should be going in the future, or just anything to do with inspiration or empowerment. So
another quote that I say to people when I run my self-love workshops and self-worth workshops is never allow the opinions of others to disempower who you are or disempower who you want to be. So yeah, never allow anyone else's opinion to affect who you want to be.
And their opinions won't hurt you unless you give them permission or power to. Always remember that, because words don't actually have meaning to it unless we give it meaning, if that makes sense. So thank you for sharing that as well. That is extremely powerful and amazing too. So once again, everybody, go and follow Danielle, because I don't know why you wouldn't be already. And thank you all so much for watching this episode of the Inspiring Vanessa Show. I'm your host, Inspiring Vanessa, and we'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye everyone.
Bye.